have it. To that extent, if the flesh of swine is halal, why can't the borrowing money from banks can be treated as such? Show me the difference. What is the difference? Here is the question of survival of the community. You know, once Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Awwal spoke on the issue of hundis and the international transactions, whereby this interest was always involved, you know, in that transaction. And Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Awwal gave an edict in favor of this on exactly the same reason which I am just suggesting. He said, for the economic survival of the community, this is a must. And you should not deal it absolutely freely, you know, relishing it and liking it, but whenever compelled, you should not hesitate to do that.
But Hazur, this businessman is not doing for the economic survival of the community, he is doing it for his own sake.
I know that, but they are all individuals. The community is composed of individuals. Each individual will do for himself, and the totality makes it a community. I mean, you can't differentiate between this and that. I never said, and nor did Masih Maud at any time, that all individuals who work for the sake of the Jamaat are permitted to deal with this. Where did I say, or where did Masih Maud say that? So why do you attribute things to us we never said? What was said is that if a member of a society is forbidden as totally, the whole society will choke economically. If each member is forbidden from certain transactions as illegal, and this belongs to that category, it's no longer a question of individuals, because every individual of a group or a society will be treated alike. And as a whole, it is not possible for them to survive, because it's not just an issue of usury. The other minor points also involved. And it will become impossible for you to distinguish between right and wrong if you go to such detail. You are employed by a bank, let's see, and the income which bank earns is halal or haram?
Well, under Islamic teaching, is haram.
Haram, so
yes.
No bank employment.
Right.
You are employed by governments. The income earned by most governments is founded on system of usury. Some governments have sold all their assets in just servicing their debts, like South Americans. So all services of those governments will become haram, right?
Yeah, but the individual...
Right. Listen to me now. I have listened to your extended questions with such patience, now listen to me. Now all the grocery shops indulge in some sort of haram, don't they? So any service there will be haram. Okay? And choose one business and other, one after the other, and show me one single business which according to your concept of Islam is pure and healthy and permissible and wholesome.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Okay? Yes. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum, Hazur.
Yes, please.
My name is Sufyan Faruqi, and
yes.
My question is, after the Jummah khutbah, you always go down for a little pause. Why?
Yes, I sit for a while, because that is what is reported of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He always did. After delivering his first khutbah, he always sat for a few moments and then stood up and then recited the khutbah which we call khutbah masnoon. Now there is of course wisdom in everything he did, but the wisdom underlying in this is that the previous khutbah is not defined. You can say anything you like addressing a community concerning the requirement of that community or advices which you must render to the community. But the second khutbah is a defined khutbah. You can't change its wordings. So when he finished the first khutbah, then he sat and said, now these are the words which you must follow verbatim. And each word, as I am announcing, should be repeated. So if he had mixed things up, then you couldn't draw a line between the two. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jazakumullah.
Come. Would you like to drink?
No. Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum, Hazur.
Jazakumullah, thank you for reminding me. Yes, yes please, Assalamualaikum.
मेरा क्वेश्चन है, लोग क्यों हजूर का हजरत ईसा को हम कहते हैं कि अल्लाह मियाँ हैं, क्यों कहते हैं?
लोग कहते हैं, ईसाई कहते हैं, हैं?
Americans कहते हैं.
Americans. The question is why most Americans refer to Hazrat Isa, Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, as God. They can't understand why they do. Have you ever asked an American why he does that?
No.
Huh?
No.
So the one who does, he's the one whom you should ask. Not me. Right?
But
Thank
they
you.
mostly say that
Huh?
वो कहते हैं कि that he rise to the sky, so he must be God. They say.
What I am saying is, address your question to someone who does that, and let me know the answer. Okay?
अच्छा.
Thank you. Please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I'm Bashir Mahmood. I'm from this
Yes.
Jamaat. My question, I've asked this question before. It has to deal with the atrocities and persecution of the Ahmadis in Pakistan. Why, with the World Council on Human Rights, why is it that they don't consider Ahmadis in Pakistan human beings?
Why is what?
Why do they not consider Ahmadis in Pakistan human beings? Why have they not done anything to stop the atrocities
You see,
and
the
persecution of the Ahmadis there?
answer is very simple, and it is rooted deep in history, in the history of religious persecution. No, don't do that. You see, the question is raised not only with reference to the Ahmadis today, it is also raised with reference to Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his followers. Why were they persecuted? Were they not humans? And then go back to Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, and his followers. The same question. Then to Moses and the children of Israel. Then to Abraham and those who preceded him, and Noah, and so on and so forth. Why persecution of innocent people? This is the question.
Yes, the question is, why does not the Council on Human Rights, the World Council on Human Rights,
You
why don't they intervene? Why don't they
Do you take
anything
them
to-
seriously?
Well, I mean, they are the World.
This is the question. If they were really dedicated to the cause of human rights, they would most certainly take up the issue of Ahmadis seriously. But it is the like of them who persecute us. Their political partners. And all this is sloganism. You know, when you go to European parliaments or some diplomats, powerful diplomats, I have been meeting them. I have been discussing this issue with them. And when it comes to pressurizing Pakistan on the issue of human rights, they are totally helpless. Because it is the political